Okay, so here we've got a hot tub that's losing about 2 inches of water a day, and it mainly loses water when the actual pumps are on. So upon taking off of our equipment bay panel, we did notice that we do have a drip coming right underneath this gate valve, and upon thoroughly investigating this, I can see that the actual plumbing failure is actually this seam right here on the actual gate valve itself. So it's actually leaking on the bottom right here and then dripping down below. The first thing that we're gonna have to do here is figure out how we're gonna replace this gate valve and what plumbing we're gonna need. On this, we've got a new gate valve, 2-inch, and then we have to go back because we're gonna basically have to cut this out, and that's it. We have to go back on the plumbing as far as we have to actually get ourselves at least an inch of plumbing to slide on our new plumbing fittings. So first things first, we're gonna turn the main breaker off to our hot tub and kill the power. And then we're gonna go ahead and drain out the hot tub, because obviously our gate valve ain't gonna do anything for us. We always want to use quality glue, and in this case any type of PVC primer will work, and I'm going to use Christie's Red Hot Blue Glue. It's a medium body and it's good PVC glue. So we'll go ahead and take this heater gasket off, let these lines drain out. So these are called a split nut, and that's it. You can take out these 2 screws and just get that completely out of the way. Comes our water. And that's it. When we're in here, we're gonna go ahead and change this heater gasket also. And that's it. There's not a lot of movement to it, but there is enough to where we can slide on our new pieces and hopefully get this to fit back in here without having to take this whole pack out. So you see, I'm in the situation where I'm gonna cut this back here and I'm gonna replumb the whole thing with you guys. And that's it. I did find the pieces. I did find a 2-inch coupling with the 1-inch outspout on the top. And I did find another piece here with a 2-inch slip in. And then it's a little bit different than the other one. But in order to make this work, we're gonna have to get one of these male slips to 1-inch corrugated hose adapter. This one's only a 3/4 inch, so we're going to go to the plumbing store and get 1-inch to 1-inch. And then also, as you can see, there's only one hose going onto this, so it looks like they've found some type of a cap to glue in there to take this line off. So we'll go to the plumbing store and try to figure out something to slip in here to take care of that line. Also, another thing is when we cut this piece off, we also did take our union that goes up to the actual heater tube with the gasket. So that's it. We're gonna have to replace this too. This is gonna go on here like so. And finding one of these is next to impossible unless you order it online, or if you go down to your local hot tub store, they should be able to hook you up with one of these. So, and if you're gonna do that, new gasket for the heater, maybe even a new split nut. But that's it. We'll get this 1-inch to 1-inch to fit this hose, and then this one's just a 3/4 inch hose. So we'll have to find something to plug this off. So if you're gonna make a trip into the plumbing store, might as well take the whole piece with you that you're trying to rebuild. As you can see, I cut this 1-inch hose off. I cut this 3/4 inch hose off, and that's it. If you're gonna need to add more hose to reach your new piece, you're gonna wanna get male to male and corrugated hose fittings, 3/4 inch and 1-inch here. So, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this 2-inch line right here with a pair of PVC cutters. I'm just gonna take that whole piece in with me, and I'm gonna cut it as close as possible so I have as much room in case You know, it gives me room to cut more off if I need to, but if I have this whole piece with me, then I can actually get everything that I need. All right, with our piece out, let's head over to the Plumb store and see what we can't do to find all these pieces we need to rebuild this properly. So I'm over at a commercial plumbing store, which I'll have a better chance of finding these pieces over a Lowe's or a Home Depot. As you can see, we've already found our 1-inch insert adapter here. That'll go in this one for that 1-inch hose. Now we just need to find one of these caps. So let's continue on. So even at the commercial plumbing store, I couldn't find this little insert cap, but they do have these hose caps for 3/4 inch lines. So I'll be able to just slip a little piece of 3/4 inch hose on there and then basically insert one of these 3/4 inch caps into that, and should be good. If you do find yourself needing a specialty piece and you can't find it at a plumbing store or online, definitely take the piece down to your local hot tub store. Normally they'll have them in stock, or if they don't, they can get it ordered for you. We do it all the time. So now we're back at the job. We're gonna go ahead and clean up this hose right here. And that's it. Here's our new piece. As you can see, we got the gate valve, one of our T-fittings with inch outlet, and then we have this Dealy McJobber here that we're gonna just put a hose on and basically plug off one side of it. Yes, you could have used another T-socket like the center one here on this one right here, but since we're doing warranty work, I want to keep it as original as possible. And that's it. So also the gate valve used to be over on this side of these two units, and that's it. It just didn't make any sense to me, because what good is that gate valve over here when this line right here runs to one of our circ pumps? That's it. If you close it down, we still have water from the tub coming to this, so we'd have to drain the tub to change out our circ pump. So I'm going to change it over here and put it right up on this, and as you can see, we can get it right in there, and that's where the other one is anyways, to close it off. So it just makes more sense to have it on the left side of where the hoses actually go to pumps and stuff. So we'll go ahead and give this a nice sanding and just get it all cleaned up and get around these edges here to make our fittings slide on a lot easier. I also like to run a little sandpaper on the inside of this just to rough it up a little bit. And that's it with the primer. They're nice and cleaned up. Make sure everything's all primed nicely. And we'll also do piece we're sliding onto it. And that's it. When we push this on after we glue it, we're going to want to make sure that it's at the right angle so we can easily open and close that gate valve without hitting any obstructions back there. And yeah, it's going to get messy, so we'll put some gloves on. So with our glue, go ahead and make sure we get plenty of glue on there. And that's it. We'll glue both sides, making sure we don't get too much on here. We don't want our gate valve not to be able to close or open. And that's it. We'll just slide her on. Double check that it opens. And then I like to hold it on there for a good 30 to 45 seconds with a little bit of pressure. Sometimes it'll try to shove off your fitting. That's it. We don't want it sliding back off. So, and that's it. If you see that there's any glue inside, I like to just wipe anything that might have got in that channel in there out. That way our valve works properly. So now we got some primer on there. We'll go ahead and put some glue on there. And that's it. This stuff's kind of messy, but it's good stuff. That's it. We'll hold that in there for a few seconds. Make sure we clean off our barbs for our hose. That's it. Go ahead and prime our inside and our outside. And that's it. I want to clean off any glue that got in here. Make sure it's clean so we can slip our next piece in. All right. Hose out of the way, and we'll go for gluing. Usually give her about 3 or 4 swirls. That's it. We'll just glue this on, kind of give it an angle where our hose is going to go on it. As you can see, we just give it a nice angle to where we can see the hose is going to go on it comfortably. And we'll just apply some pressure for a few more seconds. There we go. We're halfway there. So on this piece here, to cap off this one side, that's it. I'm just gonna use a little glue and some of these hose clamps. That's it. I'll just push this side down with a little glue on it, clamp it down, cut the end off, and then I'll slide one of these in with a little glue and another clamp onto the top and theoretically eliminate that line. If you did go with a T-socket for this line, like we did here, you wouldn't have to do this, but like I said, I'm trying to keep it somewhat original. Because that's it, I don't know everything, and I make mistakes, but that's part of the videos and making them fun, is doing this stuff raw for you guys, so I can run into the problems that you could run in doing the same thing. So that's it. So we'll go with the next piece, and I think I'm going to put the hose on first. This is going to slide it in here just like so, and that's it. We're going to run the line onto this one. I am going to replace this hose going to the circ pump, because that's it. There's no way I could have got that old hose back on. As you can see, the chemicals and stuff have just annihilated it. So I'm going to be easy on myself and just put some new 3/4 inch hose on that. I want enough hose to slip over top of this and be able to fit our fitting in. So we need about that much. And there we go. And that's it. So probably be all right with just the hose clamp on there, but they glued them, so I'm gonna glue them. Clean that side off. That's it. We'll just shove this on there like so, and that's it. We can just squeeze on our hose clamp. Regular hose clamps work as well. I don't have to have these fancy ones, but they are nice to have. And there we go. So, and that's it. We'll put a little something on this. Just a little bit on there, and that's it. I forgot to put a hose clamp on there, so Take this one off, slide her on, and we can just slide our plug in there like so. There we have it. I'll take this, put her up here, and that thing isn't going anywhere, nor should it leak anything, so should be a cure to that problem. It's gonna be a little rough getting that back hose on there, but we should be able to do it. So next we'll go ahead and glue this piece in. Plenty of glue. And that's it. Hold her in for a couple seconds. She's solid. And that's it. We can go ahead and attach our new hose. And go ahead and put this hose clamp on. And that's kind of it. I want this hose kind of angled towards my circ pump back here, so it should work good. And that's it. If these hoses don't slide on real well, a heat gun or a hair dryer is your best friend on that. If you warm these up, they slide on a lot easier. But since I'm using glue on it, it does make it a little bit slippery. So, and that's it. We'll have to diver our way in here, and as you can see, that pushed on there real, not too bad. Slid right on. That's it. We can just take our hose clamp, slide her down. Voila. So next thing is we're going to do our heater gasket union. You're going to probably have to get one of these at your local hot tub store. They are kind of hard to find in town at any type of a store because they are made just for these heater unions. And that's it. We'll go ahead and put our new gasket in, and that's it. We're going to go ahead and put this on, and we're going to actually tighten it down with our split nut to get our measurement. So we're going to have to use some 2-inch flex hose to extend this out. So put that in place. Go ahead and put a screw in there, and of course so we just tighten that down. We're gonna end up taking that back off, so one should do the job. And that's it. We'll just tighten that up on there, and that's going to give us our actual distance we need. So with some 2-inch PVC or some 2-inch PVC flex hose, we're going to go ahead and cut a piece that's going to finish off this line. And that's it. We're going to measure what slips into each of these fittings, and this one looks like it's going to be 1.75 inches. And I'll get this one too. This one's going to be 1.75 inches, so that's going to do some math there. It's going to be 3.5 inches. So we'll go 3.5 inches plus our distance in between. It looks like it's just under 2 inches. Let's see how much play we have with this line. Not much. So let's just go a little under. So we'll go 1.75 inches on that too. So that'll give us, oh, what, 4.5, 5.25 inches. So we'll cut a piece of PVC 5.25 inches. It's going to slip into both these sides, give us our width right here. It should be perfect. So the last step here is we're going to actually cut a piece of PVC 2-inch or 2-inch flex hose, which is what we have, to fill in this gap. And that's it. You're going to want to measure how much is actually going to slide into these two fittings. And as you can see there, these ones are 1.75 inches deep. You want to measure every one of them because sometimes they're different. So that's about it. So we're gonna go 3.5 inches of PVC sliding into these two fittings. And then we're gonna add the difference here, which is another 1.75 inches. So 3.5. So we'll have 5.25 inches of PVC pipe to finish this off. So we've marked ourselves a piece of, so we've marked off 5.25 inches. We don't want to go heavy. We want it either right on or just a hair loose. And that's it. This piece is going to go slide right in there. Give us our fit. So on this, I'm going to go ahead and take this back off completely. So I don't want this split getting in my way and making me have to fight it. So that's it. Once I glue these two pieces together, I'm going to make sure it's going to fit right in there. So, and that's it with my line. I can actually move it out here to get my pieces in there. So we'll go ahead and glue this side first, and like I always do, give it a little sanding. Just get rid of those edges from our cut, make our pieces slide on a lot nicer. Put some glue in there. Glue this up real nice. That's it. We want it shoved in as far as it'll go, so that way we're not too long. Like I said, nobody's perfect. Neither am I. All right, we'll get some glue on here. Nice 3 wraps. In there. All right, that's it. We want to get her on as far as we can. That's it. Our flex hose is a little bit angled. If I was to apply some heat with a heat gun to it, it would probably bend right into place, but I think I can take this split nut and tighten it down and get her to go where she needs to go. That's it. You want to make sure that heater gasket's in. It looked all right to me. I guess the real question is if it leaks when we start filling it. But that's it. If we fill it through the filter housing, it's going to push the water in here from the filter housing and fill this line first. So we'll be able to see if that thing's going to leak before we get the tub completely full. Put our split nut back on. That's it. We'll just tighten her down. It should pull that piece right into place. Like so. That's it. I'll give her a 1/16 of a turn with my oil pliers. Make sure she's nice and snug. That's it. As you can see on this one right here, yes, it did get a little messy, and if I would have used a clear glue, you wouldn't be able to even see it. But with this old hose I put on here, the only way I could even get that on was to heat it up with a heat gun, and I had to actually use glue as a lubricant to actually get that to slip onto that actual stem there. So I know it's a little bit ugly, but it was the only way to get that old hose on there. Always let your glue cure out for the full 24 hours before refilling the tub and firing it up. With all of our pumps on high now, we'll go ahead and check every fitting that we redid. Let's go ahead and feel for leaks. If we don't have any, So it's good. Another happy hot tub with the pool elementary.